What's up, Nintendo gamers? The Kid here with another The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds update. So we have more news about the game, including dungeons and how you will acquire items this time around. So, you know how in Zelda games usually you go into dungeons, find an item, and then you use that item for the remainder of that dungeon and maybe another dungeon or so on and so forth. But this time around, since dungeons are non-linear, meaning that you can go into any dungeon in any order, you now have a shop from this new character that you go into, and you can rent items that you need that are crucial to solving different puzzles to that said dungeon and others. But it isn't known how many items you can rent from this character, so we can only assume that there's only one item you can take at a time when renting from this shop. So with that goes and ties along with the dungeons being non-linear and being able to go in any order with that. But the catch is, if you die in a dungeon and get a complete game over, you will lose that item and you'll have to return to the shop and rent that item again, which makes it kind of a trial and error type of system. So make sure you do not die. And the character that owns this shop is very mysterious. His or her name is Ravio, and it's a very weird looking character dressed up as a rabbit and kind of like a mage of some sort, something like that. And this is that character here, its official artwork. So with that, that's the news, guys. So let's get into my thoughts, along with a lot of new screens and some artwork, some more artwork. Let's go. So one thing I want to point out about the dungeons being non-linear, that's okay, that's pretty cool, but at the same time, I kind of liked the idea of going into a dungeon, finding this item you can use, and it just, I guess it makes the item seem more unique, more enchanting than to just go out somewhere and get those items, you know? Like a bow and arrow, I guess a hammer and a boomerang, okay, those things, you know, are everyday things in Link's world, so that should be accessible from the get-go from any shop, I'd say. But finding a sword, finding certain items that seem more enchanted, I guess hammers and, you know, arrows and stuff can be enchanted like it has been in the Legend of Zelda series. It just seemed more like you were getting an item that was of value, not something you can just get off the shelf. It was very special, and I felt like it was something there just for you, the player, or just for Link to have for his journey, that someone left it there, you know, watching over Link. So I'm not really keen on this whole idea. I mean, I can see where people might like it, but renting an item and then if you die you lose it, it seemed like it could be potentially a very tedious situation to go back and go buy that item, because the items, you can purchase them, but they're an enormous, outrageous amount of money. But the producer says that you can actually eventually acquire these permanently. So we'll see. I think that going to different dungeons in order, not in order, is very cool, making them non-linear. But at the same time, to kind of remedy that, you could just have it where they can still go through the dungeon and acquire an item that doesn't require you to use one item throughout the whole dungeon. I know that's the whole tradition with Zelda, but you know, just so you can get that item, at least they won't have things there that you need a different item that you acquire from a different dungeon in order to progress through that. They should have it accessible for either dungeon you go to, it's very easy to acquire that said item for that said dungeon, instead of having an item that you need for that dungeon that you got from another dungeon in order to even progress in that dungeon. So hopefully, I'm not against this, but I kinda am. I don't know. My opinion on it is very, very diluted. Like, I really don't know what to think about it. It's just something. It's a change, and mind you, it's a kind of big change. It's not a small change. Because I usually do not complain about small changes, but this is kind of a big change, and that's just me. That's my opinion. I don't know. You guys leave your opinion in the comments below, but this game is definitely looking very nice, very polished. It runs at 60 frames per second, and I really wanted to play it. It's nice that you can dive underwater, and I do like the idea of non-linear dungeons and going in any order. I just don't like the sacrifice of it, you know, having to rent items and stuff because you can't buy them because they're so outrageous, and destroying kind of the uniqueness of an accomplishment of gaining an item. I just feel like it does that for me. So those are my thoughts on the whole thing, guys. Tell me what you think. I really want to know what you guys think, the hardcore Zelda fans think about this whole change. Do you like it, or do you feel the same way as I do? So tell me that in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more updates on The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds and other games right here. So thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you guys next update. Have a good one.